shaking my booty.
With the classic fart joke. How original, Russell. Aliens of London and World War III by Russell T Davies, and is episode 4 and 5 of series 1 of Doctor Who. And that's right guys, I am back after spending 3 wonderful days in London, and now I am proud to be back by giving you my first Doctor Who 2-part story review, with the first 2-part story of the revived series in general. And now a lot of people don't like this episode very much. Many Who fans consider this one of the weaker episodes and weaker stories of series 1, but I have to say I never understand the hate this story gets. I love this 2-parter. I think for being the first 2-parter of the revived series, it did a brilliant job, and this is the first 2-parter, so that means we actually got a cliffhanger at the end of the first episode, and we actually got a more completed resolution at the end of the second part, which is why I prefer 2-part stories in general and wish there were more of them. Aliens of London World War III tells the story of the Doctor takes Rose back to her flat in London to see her mother Jackie, who Rose doesn't realise she's been missing for a year, and Mickey, her boyfriend, is suspected of her murder, and Jackie is not impressed with the Doctor. She sees the Doctor as a complete danger to her daughter, especially when she finds out he's an alien and took her through space and time. However, there are bigger problems at hand with a spaceship crashing through Big Ben and a space pig being recovered from the ship, but that space pig of course is only a decoy, as a ruthless business family known as the Slitheen from Ratsacorico Fallabatorius have arrived and plot to destroy the Earth for money, and it's up to the Doctor, Rose, Jackie, Mickey, and of course the soon-to-be Prime Minister Harriet Jones so Dr. Slitheen, it's up to Rose to decide, does she stay on Earth or go with the Doctor. Now some people may be disappointed by the fact that Russell just chose to go back to present day London after taking us to the end of the world at the year 5 billion and seeing Charles Dickens in the Victorian era. I know it's not the most imaginative setting, but I love episodes set on present day Earth. I think they work because the classic series was so campy and silly, you just couldn't take it seriously, whereas this revived series does take place on Earth sometimes, where Earth gets invaded, and that really makes it Doctor Who feel all the more real. It gives it a real mature, sophisticated feeling that the classic series never gave it. And but I think having Rose back with her family in this episode works, as we need to see the companion's family to get more invested in the companion. And Jackie and Mickey are great. They're both wonderful characters, performed brilliantly by Camille Codurby and Novell Clark, all the same. So they're a wonderful addition to the episode, and it's so sad and devastating to see that Jackie has been in trauma, thinking her daughter has been missing or even dead for a year. So it's so relieving to Jackie, of course, to find Rose alive and well, and we're already too, and it's so hilarious when she just slaps the Doctor. That was awesome. And Mickey, the poor guy, he's thinking his girlfriend has been gone for a year too, and he's been questioned by the police of her murder, and of course he didn't do anything, so you really sympathise with him. But of course Rose does choose the Doctor over Mickey despite his pleas, because the Doctor's just changed her life for the better. And the spaceship crash it was just spectacular. I mean, the visual effects still hold up brilliantly today, and I admit when I first saw it my jaw dropped. It's so intriguing. You're like, where did this spaceship come from? Who's inside it? And the space pig that's inside the ship that was a decoy put there by the Slitheen was a wonderful design. I love the prosthetics and practical effects on the space pig, and the scene where the poor thing gets shot by that soldier and the doctor's like, "What did you do that for? It was scared." Oh yeah, I know, right? I'm like, soldiers, why do you have to be such a dick? The poor thing was scared. You don't need to shoot it. So yeah, there isn't just solid drama in this episode. There are great laughs too. While I will admit the comedy and drama can be a bit oddly balanced and has a place at times with the farting scene where the Slitheen in their human skin suits just farting in front of the Colonel, and then all of a sudden they reveal themselves by taking their skin suits off, and it turns into a really intense scene. I'm like, oh, Russell, this is kind of a tonal whiplash here, but anyway, Harriet Jones is a wonderful new character this episode. She is performed just wonderfully by Penelope Wilton, and who of course was the Queen in the BFG this year, and of course in Downton Abbey she is one of our finest actresses, and she does not disappoint here. Harriet is would of course become Prime Minister in the Christmas Invasion, and she's the only one who suspects the Slitheen, whereas everyone else is completely oblivious. And when I said that Aliens of London World War III feels like a very realistic story, it does. The scene where Jackie calls them the number to report sightings of aliens when she enters the TARDIS and finds out the Doctor is an alien. It's a great scene because she is in total shock. That's how a human being would react if they discovered the existence of aliens, and you're just like, give the Doctor a chance. If he was going to kill your daughter, he would have done it already. Granted, she has good intentions, her heart's in the right place, but you really want her to just warm up to him because he's the only hope they've got right now. And the Doctor and Rose are of course escorted to Downing Street, where Rose goes with Harriet, and the Doctor says this brilliant quote in which he's trying to discover. He's trying to solve the mystery, and one of the Slitheen in disguise farts, and he's like, "Excuse me, do you mind not farting while I'm saving the world?" Oh, that made me burst out laughing. Oh, Krista Eccleston, you've still got it, man. And the episode ends on a brilliant cliffhanger that makes you want to see World War III immediately when the Slitheen finally reveal themselves. I'm glad they didn't reveal the Slitheen in the episode too early. I'm glad they saved the reveal till the end to keep up the suspense and give us the surprise. And a lot of people criticise the design of the Slitheen. They say they look very they look very childish, and they criticise the cringe-worthy fart jokes. Yeah, admittedly the fart jokes are awkwardly placed in scenes which are supposed to be intense, but the Slitheen themselves, I don't see why people complain. I think they look great. I think their claws are freaking badass. I think they're certainly intimidating size-wise, particularly 10 feet tall, and the fact that they are vulnerable to vinegar and farts at least gives something memorable about them. They are equally as memorable as the Daleks and Cybermen and Davros and the Master any day, and I'm so proud they returned for the first series of the spin-off, the Sarah Jane Adventures. That brilliantly connected the two shows together, and we get a brilliant three-way cliffhanger where the Doctor's trapped with Slitheen, Rose and Harriet are trapped with a Slitheen called Margaret Slitheen, and Jackie thinks a policeman's come around to her house, but he turns out to be a Slitheen, and you're just gasping, you're on the edge of your seat, you can't wait to see World War III. And when World War III does happen, the cliffhanger is resolved immediately and brilliantly when the Doctor and the others of the room are paralysed by an electrical charge, but the Doctor changes that round to paralyse the Slitheen, and Jackie and Mickey destroy the Slitheen by spraying it with a bottle of vinegar, and the Slitheen just explodes into oblivion, and they're covered in gunk, which is really disgusting, but fun. Yeah, this episode, it has a great balance of light and dark moments. Like I said, the and Rose and Harriet just running for their lives from Margaret as she's chasing them through the halls of Downing Street, and they're just hiding all the time, and you're so gripped with suspense. Now, World War III is a near perfect conclusion to this story. It is a definite improvement from Aliens of London, simply because the juvenile, immature fart jokes are turned down in this episode, thankfully, in favour of more drama, which works better for this story. And the scenes where the Doctor, Harriet and Rose have to work together and team up, and even have to team up with Jackie and Mickey back in the flat, as it is brilliant, because they are for the first time facing a literal end of the world scenario. The stakes are so high, and they have no idea what to do. They have to be strong and stand together. And the Slovene, we find out their motivation for destroying the Earth, because they're a business family who were exiled from Ratsakorica and they want to destroy the Earth for money. They're basically like the space mafia. Second business villain in series 1 after Cassandra, but you can overlook that with the Slovene. It's fine with Cassandra and the Slovene, but by the long game, I'll get to that later. So, and the Rose, at least she tries to be helpful in World War III while she's stuck in Downing Street. So she suggests when the Doctor decides the only way to stop the Slovene is by killing them with a missile, even though he doesn't want to kill them, he doesn't have a choice. So it's either the Earth or the Slovene. Rose at least suggests she hides in a cupboard, and she wants to stay with the Doctor despite her family pleading her to come back and just go back to her normal life because they miss her so much. You can understand the motivations from both sides, but in the end, it's Rose's decision, and she's much happier with the Doctor. And it's a great moment. It's a brilliant scene. One of the best moments in the series, I think, when the Doctor's talking to Jackie on the phone, and he's like, it's just his life, and he has to make these decisions because no one else will. And that's very true. This is one of the most memorable Doctor quotes ever, certainly from the Ninth Doctor, where he just turns to Rose and says, "I could save the world but lose you." Oh, that made me tear up. Oh, it's so powerful. And yeah, because this is a great scene for kids too, for all the family. It's a great scene for anyone to watch because it shows you how to make decisions, but it just comes down to your gut instinct. Do you make the right or wrong decision? And by the end of the episode, it's Mickey that's the real hero. He hacks into a computer and sends the missile to Downing Street, which the Doctor, Rose and Harriet successfully take cover, and the Slovene are completely obliterated, and then Rose returns home to her mother and Mickey, who just beg her to stay, but despite their pleas, it's so powerful when Rose chooses the Doctor over them, even after all they've been through, and Rose convinces her mother she'll just go on an adventure with the Doctor, and only 10 seconds would have passed, and Jackie checks her watch to see if it's 10 seconds, but Rose still doesn't return, and oh, it's so sad. You feel sorry for everyone in this episode. Yeah, like I said, you really get their motivation, and that was a powerful way to conclude this story. So overall, Aliens of London World War III, it's a brilliant two-parter, considering it was the first. Russell T Davies, he did a brilliant job with helping us giving Rose some extra development and helping us connect with her family, because we really didn't get that. We didn't connect with the companions' families in the Stephen Moffat era, and we didn't get in the Stephen Moffat era the sense of realism and the stakes. By having this episode set on Earth, made it all the more relatable and raised the stakes. Harriet Jones, great character, the Slovene, great antagonist, while and the Doctor gets some great moments. While the episode isn't flawless, I admit that the fart jokes are a bit immature and out of place at times, but I do feel the story doesn't deserve the hate that it gets. I give Aliens of London and World War 3 5 stars out of 5. Thank you guys for watching, and please comment and like this video, subscribe, please follow me on Twitter, I'm on my Google+, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.